Cuba's pristine white beaches, lush forests, and vibrant cities are all waiting to be explored, but it's more than just another generic Caribbean island getaway. Cuba has a complicated, yet fascinating history. For years, the trade embargo prevented U.S. citizens from visiting, which caused this island to become locked in time with its vintage 1950s Cadillacs and Spanish colonial beauty. Cuba is only about 90 miles south of Key West, Florida, but the intriguing cultural landscape makes it feel worlds away. Cuba's captivating history paves the way for classic convertibles lining the streets and live street music on every corner, so it's no wonder it's become so popular with tourists from all over the world. Today, we'll show you what makes Cuba such a wonderful place and how you can make the most of your visit with our travel guide. Hey there, if you're new here, welcome to our channel. We provide vacation travel guides for some of the most adventurous regions around the world. In this video, we'll be providing a travel guide for tourists planning a trip to Cuba. Before we get started, go ahead and click those like and subscribe buttons below that help our channel grow. Cuba is home to a wide variety of magnificent beaches, some of which rank among the best in the world, which isn't surprising given its exquisite location in the dazzling Caribbean Sea. Beautiful golden dunes, gently swaying palm trees, and of course, the alluring turquoise waters of the Caribbean itself are everywhere you look in this tropical paradise. When you take a trip to Cuba, you will be transported to a nostalgic world of vintage cars, tinkering transistor radios, clattering dominoes, and kids playing with homemade toys on the sidewalk. As you traverse the countryside, you'll see wheelbarrows overflowing with locally grown vegetables, farmers wearing cowboy hats as they ride horses through the woods, oxen plowing the fields, and locals lounging on rocking chairs as they sip rum on their balcony. Meanwhile, the bustling cities in Cuba are filled with amazing activities, and just offshore are some stunning coral reefs and dive locations. Today, we will expose some of the island's hidden treasures by exploring these amazing locations and stunning beaches. Playa Ancon. Playa Ancon is the ideal place to go if you want to mix history and beach time in one place. Trinidad, a nearby city, features one of Cuba's most captivating colonial-era districts and was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The beach itself is magnificent, with white beaches and warm Caribbean waves and palm trees enhancing the idyllic setting. Visitors can participate in a variety of water sports and activities, including sailing, fishing, and snorkeling. Playa Ancon also offers fantastic dive spots, well known for the abundance of vibrant coral reefs and submerged centennial pirate ships. Playa Serana, which is vastly separated from the Cuban peninsula by the ocean, is one of the most picture-perfect beaches in Cuba. You won't find any hotels there, but a full range of services are available to accommodate tourists. As a result, visitors usually travel here to unwind while taking in the breathtaking environment. It's a good area to go scuba diving or snorkeling because a coral reef is nearby. Unlike beaches in front of the hotels, the sea at Playa Serana is always calm, so it is a great place to practice non-motorized water sports. Playa Pilar. Playa Pilar is surrounded by pristine waters, sun-kissed white sands, and enormous dunes. Due to the transparency of its waters, Playa Pilar is perfect for snorkeling. Its diverse species of colorful fish will surprise you. Many visitors come here to get a sight of the magnificent pink flamingos that reside along the coastline. While there aren't many hotels, eateries, or bars available, there are a few spread out throughout the city. This highlights the essence of Playa Pilar, which is sun, sea, sand, and seclusion amid breathtaking scenery. The culture of Cuba. Cuban culture is a complex fusion of Spanish, African, French, and Asian influences playing a significant role. Despite the fact that political and economic stability has never been fully attained, the Cuban people have been able to preserve the spirit of their vibrant culture. A crucial component of Cuban culture is their music, which is influenced by salsa, jazz, tango, and Spanish Nouveau Flamenco. Cuba's food, just like its culture, has strong African, Spanish, and Caribbean influences. Rice, beans, plantains, and meat, typically chicken, beef, or pork, make up a traditional Cuban meal. The widely used mojo criollo sauce is normally mixed with garlic, oil, and sour orange juice. Rum is a core part of Cuba's national identity and has, along with cigars, fueled the country's economy for decades, and is offered in mojitos, daiquiris, and punches. Cuba pioneered the way that most rums that come from Spanish-speaking countries are made now. Cuba produces a lighter, crispier rum than elsewhere in the Caribbean. Best time to visit. Best time to visit. The best time to visit Cuba is between October and April. This island has a wonderful Caribbean climate and a long season of loveliness, when the days are warm and sunny and there's very little rain, particularly in Havana and on the coast. The beaches along Cuba's south coast get the best weather on the island. Of all the months to go to Cuba, March and April are perhaps the best, when the days are longer and sunnier, not too hot and humid, and there's little rainfall. Average temperatures in March and April are around 27 to 29 degrees Celsius in the daytime, and a balmy 19 to 21 degrees Celsius at night. Even during Cuba's wettest months, May to September, there are plenty of sunny days and the heat and humidity rarely become unbearable. Havana. Cuba's main city, Havana, is an amazing fusion of the past and the present. From thriving Habana Vieja to its forward-thinking entrepreneurial culture, whether it's the bright, pastel-colored buildings scattered around the centuries-old plazas of Old Havana, the fleet of vintage American cars cruising down its streets, or the colorful locals, Havana's spirit is contagious and untamable. The city is located on the northern coast of the island, and it is the largest city in the Caribbean, featuring one of the best harbors in the Western Hemisphere. Matanzas, sometimes known as the Athens of Cuba, is known for its picturesque display of historic buildings, small-town charm, and sprawling agricultural countryside. It is situated on the northern coast of the island of Cuba, on the Bay of Matanzas, east of the capital, Havana, and 32 kilometers west of the resort community of Viradero. Matanzas is the biggest and most interesting city to visit in the province, ideal for a day trip from the beach resort of Viradero. The region is well known for its poets, culture, and Afro-Cuban folklore. Viradero. East of Havana lies a popular beach resort called Viradero, which boasts a stunning Caribbean shoreline. If you're looking for that perfect white sand beach you've seen on a postcard, then you're probably looking for Viradero. This small but vibrant beach town is close enough to Havana for a day trip. There are a number of all-inclusive hotels and spa condos, as well as a golf course, along the 20 kilometers of its Atlantic Ocean shoreline. While the resorts in Viradero have their private stretches of beach, there is more than enough public beach that it won't be a challenge to find a perfect spot to enjoy. Pinar Del Rio. Pinar Del Rio is known as the hub of the Cuban cigar business. The capital of the province, with the same name, is located in western Cuba. It gets its name from the abundance of massive pine trees you will see as you enter the province. It is one of the greatest places to start exploring the Cuban archipelago because of its proximity to Havana. Because it has a remarkable geological heritage and a unique ecosystem, the Vinales National Park, located in Pinar del Rio, has been declared the first geopark in Cuba. Although it differs from other national parks in that it has a city, it is without a doubt one of Cuba's most picturesque locations. Trinidad. This is one of the first Cuban cities founded by the Spanish in 1514, which grew to become the richest in the country thanks to the production of sugarcane, cattle, and tobacco. Explore its maze of cobblestone streets, rustic colonial homes, verdant courtyards, and fabulous restaurants. The historic center of Trinidad is closed to traffic. This makes it particularly pleasant to wander around and admire the colorful colonial buildings. Trinidad is also a shopping dreamland where you can buy all sorts of souvenirs, including clothing, jewelry, ceramics, cigars, and even musical instruments. If you're in for a unique experience, make sure to visit one of the Palladies located in former colonial homes. You get to dine in the incredible setting of a gorgeous patio and garden, with antique furniture on display for customers waiting to be seated. Santa Clara. Santa Clara is the capital of the central Cuban province of Villa Clara. It is chiefly known for its revolutionary landmarks, home to a large student population and the country's third biggest university. And with only 2 tourist hotels in the center, this city has a very authentic vibe. Take a stroll around the city center to see the historic Iglesia de San Jose and the lovely Céspedes Park. The Museo de Artes Decorativas offers accurate reconstructions of colonial aristocratic living conditions. Baracoa. Baracoa, also known as the First City because it was the first capital of Cuba and the oldest settlement on the island, is now renowned for being a quaint seaside resort. The principal attraction of the town is its stunningly beautiful natural surroundings of lush verdant mountains, clear freshwater rivers, and colorful beaches. There are also caves, waterfalls, coca farms, coffee plantations and coconut groves, making this destination a hidden gem for travelers and a paradise for nature lovers. Las Terrazas. This is a sustainable eco-village in an official UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. In the picturesque Sierra del Rosaria mountain range, Las Terrazas is a tiny, environmentally friendly rural tourism community that provides a special setting for getting in touch with nature. There's a vibrant art community with open studios, woodwork, and pottery workshops. But the region's biggest attraction is its verdant natural surroundings, which are ideal for hiking, relaxing, and birdwatching. Palmar de Junco Baseball Stadium. The Palmar de Junco Stadium, which is still in operation today, is frequently cited as the origin of organized baseball in Cuba. This site, where the first official baseball game in Cuba was played in 1874, is a historic location you must see. There are discussions about transforming it into a Cuban Baseball Hall of Fame, but for now, you can visit the Provincial Academy of Baseball, which has recently been refurbished. The stadium is also restored and is one of those venues of great sentimental value for baseball lovers, having hosted iconic games and the best players in the history of the country. Legal warning for Americans. Citizens of Canada and United Kingdom can freely enjoy Cuba as tourists, but Americans are subject to certain restrictions. Since tourism technically isn't allowed by federal law, your trip must fall into an authorized travel category. You'll also be subject to certain financial restrictions while on the island. You will need a Cuban tourist card, travel insurance, and a self-certification under one of the 12 travel categories of authorized travel to Cuba. You must also avoid spending money at some restricted businesses and keep your travel receipts and records for 5 years. That sums up our travel guide for your next adventure in the country of Cuba. If you enjoyed the video and you want to watch more videos like this, show your support by hitting those like and subscribe buttons below. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have any recommendations for future videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and stay tuned for more soon.